We gotta get serious.
All right, yeah, settle down. We can't be talking about what jokers we are off the bat.
Yeah, we got to work up to that, dude. We got to hide that one behind a paywall.
Yeah,
I like Polk's background so much.
yeah. Oh, the Twin Towers.
But like they're still up. There's still hope.
Yeah. Well, I've always said
At the end of this podcast, at the end of this, they're going to be both down.
Damn.
What if like the guy's like, we're gonna get through the coronavirus and the World Trade Center's coming back? You know, like a guy that optimistic.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a World Trade Center still. There's like 11 buildings down there.
Now would actually be a great time for another 9/11 if there's any terrorists listening.
Oh yeah.
Like, what is anyone gonna do?
Yeah, Robbie, is any of your family listening?
Terrorists listening.
Yeah, oh yeah, this is this is an incubation. But you know what's nice?
Yeah.
It's terrorists from across the spectrum. There's leftist terrorists, fascist terrorists, you know, linking hands together to take down Bill Gates.
Yeah, I always thought there should be more inclusion with terrorism.
Yeah. We need a trans Indian terrorist.
That YouTube shooter was a lady. I think she was brown too.
That's true.
Yeah.
It was Lily Singh.
I don't know who that is.
She hosts some new late night talk show.
She has a show that even woke people don't like. It's that bad. It's just
You mean
like,
all the shows? They don't watch any of the shows.
Yeah.
They support. If they watched them, they'd be like, "Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Racism is good."
Yeah. Oh, ooh, this is what we wanted.
Yeah.
I mean,
Are we still? Did we start recording? I thought we were still having fun.
we just. Oh, sorry. I'll just say, hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Loud Boys. We just starting off hot as fucking possible. I'm Robbie Goodwin. We got two bad boys from south of the Mississippi joining us today. Sorry, Andrew Polk and Jay Whitecotton are here. Everybody.
Hey.
Yeah, fuck you.
We also got Dalton and Joe.
Yeah, we're regulars.
You guys, yeah,
dude.
yeah. Frequent guests Dalton, Pruitt, and Joe Gorman are back. Everybody.
They're just guests. They're not even.
Yeah.
That's true.
They're
Regular contributors.
Robbie, just say these are the people that will talk to you at an open mic.
Yeah.
They're guys that won't ice me out of a circle. And I was like, hey.
Dude.
Hey, what are we playing? Hacky sack here? I miss saying that.
That is something that happens to me frequently at open mics, is me trying to get into a circle and some big fat guy just slowly turning his back to me to keep me out of the
Dude, the
conversation.
open mic cipher is brutal, dude. You just see some comics talking, you're like, man, I want to get in on this, but they don't want you.
Polk can
What are
attest.
what are they saying that you would want to get in on?
They're complaining about comedy.
Well, they're talking about how funny Hari Kondabolu is.
Yeah.
He still
funny.
puts a show.
Yeah. Well, Polk can attest. I know Andrew from LA, and we just did a lot of comedy. We were like in the belly of the beast of just like the worst shit that we both hate a lot. Like those.
Yeah, I feel like the timeline for us was just about as bad as it could get.
Yeah.
We were in the height of Don't Say Retard, which was like being thrown into the gulag for me and Robbie.
Yeah. I'm going to open up a bar called Don't Say Retard, though, which yeah, it was like, I mean, just the east side of LA was just like so full of just like hipster, like LA is kind of like if Brooklyn was a whole city. And then the east side of LA is like if Brooklyn had an even more Brooklyn. It was really annoying.
Man, I don't understand this metaphor.
It's like basically like a lot. If there was an entire city whose parents paid their rent, it would be Los Angeles.
Yeah.
It's a lot of like online complainers with huge inheritances coming.
Well, what's funny is like what people think of as the woke Brooklyn scene is really just like two neighborhoods. Once you get down in Brownsville and East New York, dude, it's just cool black people.
That's true. And great.
Brownsville.
Yeah, Brownsville.
Yeah.
A bit on the nose.
Dalton, is that what your dad thinks New York is called?
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, you're living down there in Brownsville.
Yeah, and so then I met Jay because Andrew and Jay were on tour with Sam Talent, and Jay knew Dalton too from Texas, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's like a son that I never wanted.
Damn, dude, Mishka said the same thing about me.
Dalton does have a Jeff who lives at home vibes a little bit.
Yeah,
He's just lonely. That's all.
I really am.
That's all. He's lonely. He has no parental guidance.
No, my parents guide me.
Your dad's a 2x4.
Yeah, dude.
Plank of wood.
Just
Yeah,
a
he's
hunk of
solid,
wood
dude. He's sturdy.
posted in the ground, keeping cows out of the streets.
No, yeah, my dad's always there.
Dalton's like
He's
a Mark Twain character.
Yeah. I'm inward Dalton.
No, not that one. Not that
all I
one.
did.
Oh boy. Anyway, so Polk
Yikes.
recently moved back to New Orleans from LA. That's pretty sick.
That's not a good transition, Robbie. He just said the N-word, and then you go, "Oh, Andrew, you're back in New Orleans."
Hold on.
Yeah, speaking of
Andrew,
N-words,
Speaking of words we've all said, Andrew, when was the last time you said that?
Speaking of
The
Brownsville,
N-word being New Orleans.
Oh boy.
Robbie, you're not going to try and ask questions or have a conversation on this thing. All
I
right?
don't
It's
know,
not gonna
man.
happen.
Yeah, you know what? I had a rough weekend, dude. I'm like, should I try and be Charlie Rose?
yeah.
Should we Charlie
Yeah,
Rose this
dude.
podcast?
we're gonna-
Yeah,
can I
you
be your
should-
Can I be your intern?
Would you like to see my penis? So when
Yes.
you saw my penis, did you like it? Charlie Rose was he gets a lot of,
Charlie Rose was a black guy, according
Yeah.
to your impression.
oh, hello there. Oh, I'm having some great discussions on PBS.
Chuck Rose was my favorite ABA basketball player.
Charlie Rose.
Hello there, Mr. Quentin Tarantino. May I interview you about your newest movie?
You know, I was just thinking about that because it's like every time a Tarantino movie comes out, everybody complains that it's like, oh, no, this white guy made a movie. But it's like, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood didn't have any N-words in it, not even Samuel L. Jackson.
Well,
That's why he didn't get the Oscar.
That's true.
he's like, fuck you guys, double the N-words next movie.
Oh.
It's also cool because like the most diversity in the entire movie was the Manson family. You know,
No, there
They
was
had all
Bruce.
these different-
There was when Bruce Lee ate that bat and started coronavirus.
Yep.
like Brad Pitt's just laughing. I'm like, you're gonna need a fucking bat, man. You do your
Yeah.
thing.
I've eaten a bat or two in my time. You can't eat that bat.
Damn.
I've started a virus. Yeah, right.
I have to slide my phone to see Polk. Right now, it's just the three of you guys, and then I slide, and it's just a lonely Andrew Polk. Just a lonely, suffering through this at the sake of keeping your friendship.
How was that? Because this is I'm gonna be honest, like this remote shit. This remote.
I could
The
just see
remote
Dalton's
podca-
soul, the sadness in Dalton's eyes when you said that, Jay.
Well, the problem
Hello?
is like this remote stuff is so hard. Like it's taking its toll on me, dude. I need the energy of people in the room. You know, I need to
Yeah,
be with
like
my
most
boys.
fucking emotional vampires.
Yeah.
Damn,
Dare I
speak-
say, dude? Wow,
I'm
Jay Ryan
Dalton.
up here.
Dalton just needs to be on comedy quarantine on Instagram.
Oh God! No, I know it
You
deserves
can
that.
go on after Julio Torres, showing like a fucking origami thing.
Just completing a puzzle.
He's Carrot Top. I don't know what to tell
Dude,
you.
I don't. I can't bring myself. to
Jay
watch-
is trying to say Carrot Bottom right now. I can see his fucking
Well,
brain.
I was debating carrot power bottom or
God damn it, dude.
I'm just listen. I'll do this. Like I don't do a lot of these because I have like I care about my time. I'm kidding. Obviously not. But I just respect that you guys are like having a cool, fun conversation, and you just post that because it's so fresh and unique. It's like just dudes having a good time on a podcast.
You know,
We don't have to solve a murder.
God damn it,
Yeah,
Jay.
dude.
I think Jay's being serious. There's no gimmick. We didn't have to watch anything. You know,
Yeah.
it's not like what would happen if U2 was actually the Beatles.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you.
That's so funny. That's so funny you say that because last week we all watched the Kevin Smith movie,
we watched Yoga
Hosers,
Hosers.
because we were running out of stuff to talk about because we've just been stuck inside for last month and a half. So we just were like, what if we watch bad movies?
No, I appreciate Polk's defense because whenever I see podcasts with like a theme, I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here? It's always like, all right, so we're going to talk about a different board game every month. And it's like, or every week. And it's like, who is listening to this?
Well, have you played Power Grid?
Should we just make this a board game podcast?
Well, I am bored.
Let's just pivot.
It's like
I am very bored.
There's nothing better. I love being condescended to by a guy who doesn't own a computer, by the way. There's nothing worse than that.
He has a phone, dude.
Uh-oh.
Jay. Where is Jay?
Maybe his reception dropped.
No.
How's everybody doing? Because I'm bashing my head against the wall.
Well, I was in quarantine well before quarantine, so
Yeah.
like staying home, not doing anything. I don't even believe it's real. Like
Well, it's
I
not,
just thought
the virus isn't real. That's for
well, the virus was comedy, and
the
I
planet
think,
is healing.
yeah, to me, COVID-19 was the cure for a lot of terrible things. Like as soon as all the trust fund kids had to move back home, now all these red states are going to be voting blue again. It's nice not having the country held hostage to someone's fucking hobby.
Well, me and Robbie and Joe were just talking about it today because there's all these comedians in New York that are like, should we leave now that there's no comedy?
Yes.
And it's like, we're open mics. What kept you in New York?
Yeah,
that was the reason you
I
were
commented
here.
that. There's all these people having a struggle session. Like, yeah, just like without comedy, I don't know what's in there in New York for me. I guess I'll settle down in South Dakota. And it's like, you weren't booked. You were doing mics. Like,
to be in New York, to be in New York City and go, well, I can't go to the basement of the creek in the cave anymore. I guess I better go home to fucking Tennessee.
yeah,
It's
it's like
crazy.
yeah. I don't understand. Like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
you do. You understand it. It's community plus validation. Those are two like terrible drugs.
But there's nothing in New York else for you. Like, you can't. I mean,
No, these are
there's, like,
empty people.
And
Yeah,
libraries.
Libraries. Well, it's like if your only thing is comedy, like if you can't handle just like walking around and looking at the city, if the idea of being alone in New York is terrifying to you, then yeah, I guess I can see why you'd want to
But
leave.
you'd be
Dude,
alone
I love this
everywhere.
city.
I don't. I guess I get
Yeah,
that.
there's 30 Billy Joel songs dedicated to that alone.
Yeah.
Dude, when is the Billy Joel coronavirus jam dropping? By the way, that's gonna be hot.
I don't know. Is he dating it?
Give it 4 more years. Or Uptown Virus. I could have done better.
Hold on. A bottle of bat.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Okay. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
Wuhan, China, fortune cookie. I don't know.
It's obviously the piano Chinaman. You idiot.
Yeah, there we go.
Always brewing.
God damn it.
God damn it, dude.
He said, "Sir, can you make me some bat soup?"
Yeah, the piano Chinaman that's the one.
Yeah, there we go.
He
Damn,
just plays
dude.
chopsticks.
What if Billy Joel was quarantined? By the way, is Billy Joel quarantined in Madison Square Garden? I think he might
No,
be.
he's got
on
all of
Long
Long
Island.
Island. He's got
Yeah.
the whole island. It's his.
Jay has Jay has one of the best Billy Joel bit, probably the only Billy Joel bit.
Let's not do jokes.
Yeah, this is
No,
the
no, no,
worst.
I'm not
Have a
gonna
heart
do
to
that.
heart.
Back to China, man.
Let's have a heart to heart.
All
When was the
right,
last
I'm
time
sorry,
you
I'm
guys
sorry.
thought about suicide? Okay, we'll start with you. When did you think about ending your life last? Andrew, go ahead and think about your response.
Right before I joined this Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah, hello, roast battle. Once this virus lifts, have you ever seen a man take on a podcast?
Does that make Robbie the wave in this?
Yes, he is the one. There it is. Yeah. Whoa, this is way better than having a set.
Well, hold on.
definitely-
I'm friends. Hold on. I'm very good friends with Jamar Neighbors.
He doesn't like you.
That's true. All right. Well, fuck him.
You got.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't like him then.
Yeah.
I'm definitely friends with Haiti, the disgraced one.
Is
The
this the
country-
horrible
country?
bragging part of the show?
What's that?
Yeah. This is where we name drop not famous people.
Well,
This
You
is
can-
where I name drop the guy that does security at Flappers. You guys know Steve, right?
Yeah, let's get off comedy. This is too.
Thank you. What's the weirdest thing that's happened to you during quarantine?
oh
dude.
my god.
Fucked a man.
Joe had gay
No,
sex.
weird.
Yeah. That's business.
I didn't love him. That's
Oh,
crazy, dude.
Congratulations.
It's like, damn, dude, I
tough.
love this guy.
Well, I
Desperate
got
times.
evicted.
Oh yeah, Dalton definitely had the most tumultuous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for having
what
gay
happened?
Sex with me.
So, wait, what did you say?
Yeah, Joe. He was evicted from Joe's apartment after bad sex.
No, so I was living at this apartment that's like a mile from where I am now, and we had a roommate that was already leaving at the end of April, and so because she was leaving, we were talking to the landlord, and he was like, our landlord Solomon Moskowitz, he said, "All right, so you can either."
Are you about to blame the Jews?
Yeah, you
I am.
really
There was
laid
no
it
need
on.
to name drop.
Yeah, you really laid on
His name was
Moskowitz.
Solomon
Roast battle.
Jewstein.
Yeah.
Solomon Moskowitz.
I just want no. I'm just trying to paint a picture for everybody. I'm trying to.
So did Hitler. Hitler was quite known for painting pictures.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
A lot of brown paint's being used.
Yeah. I'm. So
If I
we
can't
had some-
paint, I don't want to even be in Germany anymore.
we
Oh, shit.
we had someone that was already like she was already moving. She was leaving New York, and so she was leaving at the end of April. And the landlord said, "All right, so here's your options. The two of you that are still there, you can either find someone to take that room, or you can leave, or you two will be on the hook for the rent for the entire apartment. So it's 3 rooms, 2 people." And we told him, we were like, well, it's going to be really hard to show this apartment during the quarantine. He said, yeah, I know, it's going to be tough, isn't it? And then we were like, well, we don't know how we're going to be able to cover the rent for the entire place if we stay. And then he said, well, I don't know, once you get that stimulus check, you'll be doing better than me. And we were like, I don't think that's true. You own 10 buildings in Brooklyn. And so, me and the other guy, we talked about it, and we were like, I think it would just be easiest to leave because we just didn't want to have to owe this guy anything. I don't know. We probably could have stayed if we wanted to because what was he going to do? But, yeah, so we just left.
When does this lead to Crystal Knot?
Pretty soon.
You could have just stayed, man. Couldn't you just done like a rent strike? I don't know. I've been
Oh
all
yeah.
my progressive friends seem to have all these solutions.
Yeah, solutions.
Yeah, everybody understands the economy now. Everybody knows what they're. I don't know. I honestly.
That is what's kind of funny about the virus is everybody when it came, it was like this actually everything I think politically, this is evidence of it. Like everyone
Mhm.
across.
I honestly don't know what my options were. Like, I probably could have stayed, but I feel like that was going to cause more issues down the line. And I was like, it would probably be easy because I wasn't on a lease. I was already there kind of illegally because I was subletting, which is technically illegal in New York. So I was like, I think it would just be easiest to move. So a friend of mine owns the building I'm in now, and he was like, I'll come help you move. I can hook you up. I'll knock $100 off the rent each month. So I'm still paying $1,000 a month to live here, but
Greatest
it was very
city in the
stressful.
world.
Yeah. Moving to New York was a mistake. It's
Yeah.
been the most stressful experience of my life.
After we all made fun of people for wanting to leave, we're like, yeah, this sucks ass.
Well, I remember the day I got here, because when I first got here, I moved in with Lauren. Shout out to my good
Lauren
friend,
Davis, yeah.
And she came
Rest
and
in
got me from
peace.
JFK. R.I.P. She's dead now. She's dead to me.
Yeah, me too.
And she came and got me from JFK and brought me back to our apartment at the time. I remember walking in and being like terrified. I was like, "This is the worst building I've ever." No air conditioning. There were rats running around everywhere. Moving to New York has been terrible. But I met Joe and Robbie, and that's all worth it.
What? That's all that's keeping you here is us?
Yep, it's Joe and Robbie.
Jesus Christ,
God,
man.
man.
Get the fuck out of here.
No, dude, I love it here. It's just the last month has been stressful. And
No,
like,
it sucks.
With the
No, it
quarantine,
It makes you feel like a freak on a lease.
Oh.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
All right, sorry. Something took a part of me. I don't know.
All right.
Sorry,
Hey,
was that corny?
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
Jay,
Rule
and
three.
Andrew, y'all can bounce anytime y'all want. Y'all don't have to. Like, I know y'all are in y'all's apartment.
Yeah, it's a recurring Loud Boys bit that our guests leave halfway through the episode.
No, but if my phone dies, I apologize.
Hey, man, it's all good. We're kind of.
See, this is what happens when I don't ask questions.
Okay, let's do some questions, man. What do you want to know?
How's Texas?
I don't know.
You just released you just released a special. Congratulations.
Oh,
Thank
tight.
you. Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah.
Jazz Funeral. It's I got to take it off YouTube because it got picked up by Comedy Dynamics.
Oh shit.
That's awesome.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest, Jay. Congratulations.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
I thought it looked really cool.
That's
I
all.
consider.
Doesn't matter.
No other compliments for you, buddy.
As long as I look fuckable.
No,
That's all I
it was
wanted.
good. It's funny
I
how
consider-
all the best comedy specials I've seen lately have just been like filmed by the comics themselves.
Yeah,
It's like
Oh yeah.
the industry fucking with you and filming it for you is actually, it makes it worse these days. It's very bizarre.
well, no one knows how to actually film stand-up comedy. Like the second you put a middle act in a giant theater, you're already fucked up.
Yes, thank you. I agree. Yeah, you see
Like-
all these comics do these venues on like Netflix or whatever way bigger than they usually do. Paul F. Tompkins did that. This is like back in 2012, but he like played this like humongous theater in his Comedy Central special, like a fucking huge old theater. And I remember he was like having trouble getting people, like 300 people to come to his shows. Like he couldn't headline clubs. So it's like, why did you do this? It's so pretentious.
I don't know. I kind of liked seeing Taylor Tomlinson in Madison Square Garden. And, you know, the Taylor heads came out for it when she talked about swiping left instead of right. I mean, thousands of people were laughing.
Oh,
Hold on. I gotta swipe right.
the
There you are.
well,
I don't.
as a Tomlin freak myself, no. Taylor's nice, but she did unfollow me on Instagram, so
Well,
Yikes, dude.
Nine is out.
I tried watching that special and it fucking sucks.
Whoa.
Why do you
Guys,
hate
we'll be
women,
right
Dalton?
back with a message from our sponsor.
I don't hate women. I just hate women in comedy.
All right, let's go around and
Why don't you leave the humor to the fellas?
let's go around and name our.
So what happened with Lauren? How did what was the device?
No, dude, me and Lauren got along great the entire time we lived together. We never fought. We had a good time. And
That's a strain on that voice.
Yeah,
Come on,
When-
man.
I've
He's
never
When a
seen.
woman when a woman hears this podcast and hears you talking shit about women, she's going to make you listen to this podcast to prove men aren't funny.
Guys, let's go around the room and name our top 15 favorite female comics, okay? You guys first.
Buck
Joan
Angel.
Rivers.
Medea.
Medea,
Jill
Big
from Jack
Mama.
and Jill.
Yeah.
I like that everyone's first answer is Maria Bamford, and then a long pause afterwards.
Yeah, Maria Bamford.
Every time I've heard this conversation, every dude's like, "Was fucking Maria Bamford?"
Honestly, though, I'll be honest. Maria Bamford was on the forefront because she was like the first person to do a special with no audience, which is kind of yeah.
And that's what we're doing now.
That's what everybody's doing.
Well,
that's all comedy is going to be for at least 10 years.
Maria's probably aged the best of the comedians of comedy, though.
No, dude, she looks awful.
No, I mean,
have you seen her
no, comedy wise.
You mean her act?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Who
Yeah,
cares?
her act.
Who cares?
I thought you were talking about her face. I was
Poseidon's is definitely aged the worst.
No,
I'm a nerd.
He didn't start from a good
up,
place.
Yeah,
It's not the Poseidon didn't start from a good place.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So his aging worse could be like better for him because at least I don't know. I feel like there's a certain age where you're no longer fucking, so you're just free.
Yeah.
that's true. Jay, are you there yet?
I was there when I was born. I guess. I don't know.
That's not true.
I'm just
You were molested immediately after being born.
Yeah, instead of spanking you, the doctor fingered your ass.
Always the Boy Scout leader, never the bride.
Yeah.
When the doctor spanked you, he said, "Daddy."
Yeah. He's like, "Well, I have a thing for big guys."
Top 15 women. I'm coming back. Flip Wilson as Geraldine.
Michelle Obama.
Just name
Sally Fields and Punchline.
It is funny when a lot of comics will talk about women in comedy. I don't even know if they realize they're doing it, but they'll say, "No, there's plenty of great female comedians." It's like that. What an insane qualification.
Yeah, don't say comedian. That's just insulting. Oh, man.
It's great when black guys do it. There's a lot of great female comedians.
Oh yeah,
Black guys are great at saying female.
that's true.
It's a great trait of theirs.
I honestly don't find any comedian fuckable, so it's hard to even have this conversation.
What about Louis Anderson?
Well, I started comedy with a guy that looked and sounded like Louis Anderson, who was a closet homosexual.
Was it Louis Anderson?
It actually was Louis Anderson. It was incredible.
Oh God.
Damn.
Yeah.
What about Louis Wes Anderson?
All right.
Like the Royal Tenenbaums. All right, you know what, you guys?
Right,
I'm trying to keep it moving.
I'm sorry. Do you guys hear that? That's the sound of a train grinding to a screeching halt.
All right, Dalton.
Yeah, hold on. You can't say you're trying to keep something moving if you didn't have a map or a destination.
That's true. I'm
All
sorry,
right.
Robbie. I'm sorry.
No need to apologize, man. We can go back to talking about stand-up.
When was the last time you guys had sex?
Fuck. Maybe January.
Damn.
I mean, if it's not good, I don't count it.
Oh
smart.
shit! Damn, that's a professional talking. How are the girls down south? Are they good? They look good.
What?
I don't know, man.
It's like a Howard Stern question.
So how about those girls down south? They good, Robin?
They're the same.
How they looking? Oh boy, women, huh?
There's not a lot of regional divide when it comes to pussy.
Is any?
I disagree. I disagree, Gary.
Baba Booey?
Sally.
New York girls are pretty hot.
Yeah, New York girls are the kind I like.
You know what's
I
funny
stole
though?
your honey like I stole your bike.
All the hot girls left the city though. I went on Tinder and it's just like being back in my hometown lately.
Dude, I was on Hinge. Hippopotamus convention. What the fuck?
Hinge is an ugly app.
It's an ugly person. I found out I was an ugly person.
That's
what a slap in the face.
That's what the relationship app means. Just like, hey,
Jay,
are you ready to settle?
Jay and Andrew look nonplussed.
Well, Andrew left LA after a breakup, and I can't wait.
You can't wait to break up?
I can't wait to move. I can't wait to live with Andrew, is what I'm saying.
Are you guys living
Okay.
together?
No, but it came close.
Oh, nice.
I just
Yeah,
When this
he was going to be my pandemic buddy because he's all fucked up health-wise, and I've got AIDS, so it doesn't
Oh,
matter.
wow.
you can't get AIDS twice.
Impossible. It's
Double
like chicken
jeopardy.
AIDS must. God, how fucking bummed out must AIDS feel right now? It's like, hey guys, I'm still here. You know,
Oh,
coronavirus.
that was my favorite thing about the testing when it was first coming out, was just the idea of someone finding out they have AIDS from a COVID test. So grateful. Like, oh,
But
thank
no,
God.
no corona?
Super.
Just
Well,
super
that's-
AIDS.
Or they'd
All
be
right.
like, oh, I wanted the popular one. Nobody's gonna like my Facebook status about having AIDS.
Well, that's been one of the funnier commentaries about it, where it's like a lot of gay people are like, "Oh, is this your first? You don't remember AIDS?" And it's like, well, that you had to work to get that one.
No, we're not.
Best week ever, but it's about AIDS. It's like, remember AIDS, guys?
I love the AIDS.
I love the AIDSies. I love the AIDSies. Fuck.
I love the AIDSies.
My brain is melting.
Why? Just lack of interaction and going outside?
I don't know. I don't know how you guys are doing, but like the last month and a half, I haven't done shit, and I don't feel creative anymore. I don't think I'm funny anymore, and I'm sure someone will say I never was.
Oh, Dalton, you never were.
Dalton, no, Dalton,
Rob,
you were saying this before COVID even hit.
That's true. Dalton.
You're not a comedian until you doubt everything about yourself every fucking day.
Yeah.
Like the disease is just an excuse.
I've been doing that since before comedy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, Dalton, remember winter? We were just kind of like dumping on each other about like all of our doubts about the industry.
Like German porn stars.
Yeah, we were dumping like
we were
German
dumping
porn.
on each other. See, this is what I'm talking about, dude. I'm fucking terrible.
Yeah. Louis Wes Anderson doesn't look so bad now, does it, Dalton?
Louis Wes Anderson is a killer bit now, dude.
Damn.
What about Life with Louis C.K.?
Okay, what would that be like?
I'm on a fucking tricycle, I guess. I don't know.
Well, that was Bobby's World. Louis,
Oh
Life
fuck!
with Louis
I get
was
those.
like,
I get those mixed up all the
Yeah,
time.
Life with Louis was like, no, Dad, I don't want to do this. I feel like I have high cholesterol, but
Those were like the same show, basically. Who did Bobby's World? Was that Howie Mandel?
Howie Mandel.
That was Howie Mandel, who my mother made out with in the 70s. I used to think that maybe, if your mom says she made out with somebody, that means she fucked them.
Yeah.
And I was trying to put the timelines. I was trying to do the timelines to see if I could be Howie Mandel's kid, but it didn't work out.
That'd be cool.
Did he fuck her with like the glove over his head? Like,
He blew it up.
the condom?
He blew a condom over his head.
You think about it, it's smart. It's 5 condoms in one.
Howie Mandel has 5 dicks.
It's 5 dicks.
That's why he's so obsessed with cleanliness.
Yeah, it'd be funny if he just like fucked her and then wouldn't shake her hand. He's like, ew.
He insists
Ew,
on
gross.
raw dogging, but he's like, nah, we're not gonna shake a hand.
You guys are young. You guys are young. If you don't know, Howie Mandel's a germaphobe.
That's right.
We're all Howie Mandel now, kind of. We're all.
You know who was
we all
also a
laughed at
germaphobe
him.
was Mark Summers from Double Dare. He
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
want to get any of the slime on him. He was like OCD about that shit.
He would have to tap a light switch 20 times when he left
Yeah.
the room. That kind of shit.
Yeah, all kinds of weird shit, man.
Trump's
Man,
Trump's
never
a germaphobe,
never meet
too.
your heroes.
Did you meet Mark Summers?
No, but I read a Wikipedia page, so I feel like I know him.
Wow.
Oh my God.
By that standard, I've met a lot of heroes, pretty much all of them.
I met Jonathan Winters.
How was
What?
that?
No, I'm kidding. I'm just naming another guy who has a season in his name.
Who are some famous? I was just thinking about a famous. When I met Tom Arnold, I was in an elevator with him, and he made fun of me for being hairy.
Oh,
Were
damn.
you
He got
naked
your ass.
in the
No. He looked at my shirt and he was like, looked at my neck and he's like, got a lot of hair on your neck there, huh? hairy guy. I was like, well, okay.
You fucked Roseanne.
Also,
Like, that's
you're legendarily ugly man, Tom Arnold. What are we doing? What are you doing commenting on strangers' hair?
I don't care what he looks like. You fucked Roseanne. You have no business commenting on anyone's physical appearance.
Yeah.
Do you remember the
imagine.
Larry Sanders arc where he was fucking Roseanne?
No.
He fucked Roseanne and Larry Sanders. I don't remember that at all.
Larry Sanders show, there was like I think a whole season where he was dating Roseanne and she was helping him get off of pain pills. But yeah, he was fucking Roseanne on that show.
Can you imagine? I'm close.
No, I'm just trying to get my head around the idea of like Roseanne helping you get off any type of medication.
Oh yeah, true. Famously undone by Xanax, Roseanne.
How would she?
Well, it'd be easy because she would steal all your pills and take them. That's how you get off.
You can't have these; they're mine now.
I see Robbie's the Nick of the show. Robbie's doing the impressions. I like it.
Yeah, thanks, man. I am.
Who's the Stav? Who's Stav?
We
Oh,
know.
God. I don't want to
We all know.
I don't want to do this game.
Who was trying to headline off their friend's podcast?
Yeah, Adam definitely made out the best of them.
Because we don't know anything about him.
I mean, yeah, he's headlining. It's bizarre. Stav's actually.
We talked about podcast themes being silly, but this should be a Cumtown theme podcast. It should just be
I thought it was.
After Cumtown. No, I think Chris Hardwick's already doing that.
Come talk.
Hey, I'm Chris
Come
Hardwick.
talk.
The
Talking
talking
cum.
cum. Yeah.
I'm Chris Hardwick. This is Talking Cum.
I have Nick Mullen's bed, so I feel financially secure.
That's
nice.
cool.
I'm actually
Yeah.
in his old room. Like this is you can't see
We
it 'cause of the
can't. We
background.
can't see.
Yeah.
You
He
should
slept
do
on
paid tours for school shooters.
Well, no, I got his mattress. His mattress sucks. It's fucking. If you want any insight on the dude, the mattress is the most uncomfortable thing I've ever slept on. So I have like a big foam mat on it. But if I ever financially get really fucked, I'm gonna auction off the bed to see how much money I can get from a Cumtown fan.
Someone would pay for it. Some very fat girl might buy it, actually.
Yeah, I feel like the insight there is that you're sleeping on a mattress that is at least 13 years old.
Yeah. An alcoholic's mattress.
Well, Jay's standards for living are incredibly low, so I think that mattress is a pretty.
How old are most people's beds?
Dude, they're not that. It's like at the most.
Yeah, that's pretty
like
old,
a-
man.
Like a year
Yeah.
or two.
I was doing
Do
the
you
math.
guys
Yeah, because
really buy
Nick.
beds every couple of years?
Probably every 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Nick moved to Baltimore and then New York, so he's gone to 2 different cities since he sold you that mattress.
I'm
But it
going
still
to get
does the
alcohol from my kitchen.
Oh, okay. Bye, Andrew.
All right.
He just
He's not
overdoses.
coming back. He's not coming back.
He's not
dude.
coming back.
That's fine.
No, he'll be back, dude. Polk's a homie.
I hope you're right, dude.
So yeah,
Jay-
wait. I want to
Jay-
I hear more about Jay. How Jay lives. What do you mean by like low living?
Okay,
standards?
if you want to know, okay, here's low living standards. I just posted about this because I forgot about it. Right at the beginning of all this, probably about a couple of weeks in, I passed a dead body on one of my walks
Oh
and got
shit!
in a fight with a pack of coyotes. And didn't think to talk about it until like a month or two later when I remembered it.
What the fuck? That's like, are you Don Quixote? That's like so.
No,
fucking-
I just take walks like late at night because I don't like people anyways, and I don't want people to see my gross body trying to be healthy. So as I was walking, there was this coyote trying to distract me from in front. It was like pacing back and forth and like kind of doing this weird hop thing. And so I'm staring at this coyote. I started thinking about it because I grew up around West Texas ranches. I turn around, there's 3 fucking coyotes slinking up, trying to come up behind me.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I ended up kicking one in the face, and then they all kind of scattered down a bunch of
Damn.
train tracks.
That's so badass. My god.
I got video of some of it, of them leaving, but it was like one of those weird things that I didn't want to post about it because I thought people would think it was either too on brand, or I just don't want to explain. Like, I'm actually kind of ashamed of certain parts of my life, and fighting coyotes. It just sounds too stupid.
No, dude, that's awesome.
You look like a guy who would fight. If I never met you, I'd be like, yeah, that's a guy who fights coyotes on his way home.
I've fought hogs before.
But enough about my ex-wife, folks.
God damn it, Robbie. We were all trying to get there.
I
I'm
miss
going to
ex-wife
Andrews
jokes.
to get some alcohol.
Oh shit. Wait, do you live in Austin?
Yeah, I've been in Austin for about 9-10 years now.
Oh wow.
Damn, dude, Jesus. The city's changed a lot. It's been like it's gotten like super techy, right, lately?
It's always been shitty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's not that it's gotten super techy. It's just it's just fucking white, dude. It's baby Brooklyn or any place where there's like a lot of white money. It's just going to be, it's just obnoxious.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, when you were talking about how, like, you were talking about the industry, it's and how it was really affecting you. Comedy's completely changed even before the virus. So whatever this is, your conception of it is, like, I was kind of, I don't know how to vocalize this, but when you guys are upset about your surroundings and what you have to deal with, I would say don't even fucking worry about it. All you can control is your own work. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah, we've
So
talked
if you-
about this a lot. Me and Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like-
Well, I just get so fucking, I just go crazy looking at like what people, honestly, the virus has been a nice break from just like going on Facebook, seeing people getting things and just being furious. And it's like, oh, I can't actually focus on my fucking own shit and not worry about what everyone else is doing.
I've
But
just
now
been
people are
focusing.
going on there to brag about getting coronavirus. God damn it.
Dude, the same open micers who brag about like getting on the Good Bar Show or whatever. Like they were all like, I think I have it.
I'm amazed more comedians haven't lied about having coronavirus.
Yeah.
That's coming.
Yeah.
When Ahmed
That's
Weinberg
every
said he
fucking
had it, I was
person
like,
out.
oh, you're another thing? God damn
Well,
it.
I guess it's whenever Ellen can have guests again, then the comics will start coming out saying they have it.
They have a disease. Is that guy dead yet?
Oh, he's twice as strong. He's got a fucking Iron Man suit now.
He's
Hey,
War
who's-
Machine.
It came with the HBO special.
Yeah.
Who's this?
Quincy Jones.
Quincy
Jones, who
Oh.
I didn't say
supposedly
a
had
fucking
terminal
name.
cancer.
I didn't say a name.
The composer?
Oh, I'm saying it. It's Quincy Jones, and he was like this guy that apparently had like a terminal cancer, but then he's still alive, and it's been like
Yeah,
almost 10
the-
years now.
The Cure for Cancer is an HBO special. I didn't know that.
yeah. Yeah. That's what, yeah. I guess Dennis Leary was wrong.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
why
the
he doesn't
cure
have
for
cancer.
Cancer
Yeah.
is Laffy Taffy jokes.
I went to
gotta
that.
put.
I went to that special taping actually, and the biggest laugh was when he was like, "I better die."
He better.
Like, I better die. Yeah.
It would be cool if like he came out like hooked up to a catheter, and then he was like, "No, I need to do this on my own," and then he unhooks the catheter, and everyone starts applauding that. He's like, "Wait," and then he's like, "Men and women are different," and everyone just erupts. Oh, thank God he lived, dude. R.I.P. dude. I wish I was dying.
I have a question for you guys. I got to do an interview for this paper. They're asked because one of the clubs in one of the cities I work in is opening up. If you guys were asked to do a show right now, would you do a show?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
Who's headlining?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think I would do the first one. I'd see whatever. I mean, I'm not. Yeah, just because I'd be scared for myself.
Brave stance, Robbie. I would wait for everyone else to take that first step.
Yeah, I'm
and
being
see how
honest.
much ridicule.
I want to be liked, and I'm a pussy, so that's my.
I
love you.
I don't know if any of what we've been told. I don't know if any of this is as bad as they say it is. I'm starting to wonder.
I will say I was riding the subway right up until the lockdowns in New York City, and
Yeah.
knock on wood, I'm okay. That's crazy. I
Yeah.
mean,
And I'd do it. And then I'd say, like, look, if you guys don't want me to do it, please Venmo me $1,000.
Well,
And I won't do it.
Jay, are
But,
you
like, you gotta do something, man.
would you,
That's like,
you know, Wiseacres in Utah apparently just had a show.
yeah, it was great.
Jay, are you?
Oh, you were
is
on it, Joe?
Are you getting?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
Jay, are you
I
getting
was just
paid?
there as a guest. I bought a ticket.
I would absolutely do the first show possible so I could do all of the fucking jokes that
Before
everyone
they
is
did.
going to be racing
Oh.
to do.
Good point, dude.
I would
I-
do it to pretend like I didn't even know there was a virus.
But then they would wonder why you were wearing a rice patty hat, and you'd have to explain that.
Well, it's for my ching chong bit.
Yeah. You were celebrating Parasite's win at the Oscars, and you stopped paying attention. Stopped paying attention to the news after that.
No, there was a
Yeah,
comedy
I mean-
club. There's a booker online. He said he wasn't going to let anybody talk about the coronavirus that gets on his stage. They had to sign a contract that they weren't going to talk about it.
Damn.
And if they
fuck?
did, he wouldn't pay them.
Why?
And I've been laughing in my head because he's like his business got affected, and he's a faggot, I guess. I don't know. Oh shit! I've been telling everyone that after the virus hit, it's okay to say faggot. I don't know if you guys know that.
Yeah,
I think
you're
we're
right.
back, man. Every
Yeah, I read that it was The Cure.
Jay, hold on. Jay,
Cameron Esposito's on her deathbed, just like, no, I'm not gonna say it. Cameron, it's The Cure.
If I don't get a haircut, no one will look at me on stage. Okay.
Jay, I think you mean big faggot.
Oh yeah, one of those. Yeah. So
I loved that you buried the lead, though. It's affecting his business and
it's affecting his business, and also he's
and
gay.
he's
But one of the annoying ones.
Yeah.
No, he. So my mentality is like, what if you get on stage and just pretend like nothing's happening? Wouldn't that be weirder than if you just did all the hacky Corona jokes?
Oh, yeah.
yeah, because
Yeah.
it's the elf. Because like Lewis tried doing that with his podcast. He was like, no coronavirus talk, and I was like, dude, you do daily podcasts.
Lewis?
Louis J. Gomez.
Yeah, Robbie's on a first name basis with a lot of Gas Digital.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the
Man,
outs. Yeah,
Jesus.
I'm on the
I'm
outs.
so
man.
glad I'm not involved in this fucking shit. That
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, I know Chris
That
from
sounds-
BK.
I know Chris.
Yeah, everyone knows Chris. I was trying to name drop someone who's whatever. But yeah, anyway, it's like, yeah, you can't. It's like a huge. It's like if we were in World War II and they're like, all right, no war jokes.
Yeah.
Like it just like doesn't.
Yeah, I'm a newspaper comic. Wake up.
I'm gonna
I-
bring
well,
that back. Bringing a
I write
newspaper
7
on stage with.
I write 7 topical jokes. That's just how I do.
Does each joke have like a spinning newspaper that gets closer
Yeah.
to the screen?
extra. Read all about it.
This just
Yeah.
in.
this just in. Dating is weird.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to even talk about it because I feel like everybody's doing the same jokes about it right now.
Well,
Not
that's-
me
I mean,
and Jay. We're both great comedians. Our material's cutting edge.
That's true.
It's
Yeah.
very avant-garde whenever we do the Chinese eyes. Like it's,
It's like jazz. It's the Chinese eyes. It's the N words you're not saying.
That's why I called it Jazz Funeral. I've been like paying attention to wrestling because I don't really care about it, but it's fascinating to me that the WWE is putting on these productions, but no one is allowed to mention that there's a virus. So as hard as it for me to be a comic doing it, imagine trying to wrestle in an empty stadium and you can't even allude to the fact that there's a pandemic globally destroying lives.
Wait, is that the last sport that's allowed to like do anything? Is wrestling?
Yeah,
the
yeah.
only- That's like the
Yeah.
that's like
But
the
they
last
have no-
show.
They have no audience.
Yeah, but like nothing is filming. Not even like late night shows.
UFC filmed on
yeah,
Saturday.
Well,
They were
didn't
in Florida.
Dana White bought like a Mortal Kombat island?
Yeah, he's on Jeffrey Epstein's
I thought he bought Epstein's Island.
Yeah, he
did.
bought Little St.
Something
James
to have
Island to host
fights.
the fights.
I was wondering why it was so cheap.
Yeah, I got a great deal on a temple.
We okay, so fighting is the only thing that's allowed to be filmed in like a studio. Let's let SNL come back, but they all have to fight each other.
Beat each other.
They have to do UFC.
Yeah, I want to see Kate McKinnon and Bowen Yang step into the octagon.
Just Alec Baldwin doing that Trump impression, just getting hit in the face.
Wasn't that Saturday Night Live like in the 80s and 90s when they were all backstage beating the shit out of each other?
Oh yeah, fucking
the Michael Richards episode.
Chevy Chase and Bill Murray like on a huge fight, like a fist fight, because
yeah, that's why it's not funny anymore. It's like they're all kind to each other.
Yeah, back when they were all like amoral, coked out assholes, the show was great.
Yeah.
Norm
When
beat
everyone
up
was
a
buying
writer.
he
Some like writer threw a lit cigarette at Norm or something, and he just like walked across the room, just started beating the shit out of him or something.
How terrible was that fight?
Probably pretty bad.
Like that.
Yeah.
What's for? Yeah. Here comes another sweet puncher on the kisser. Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting your ass kicked.
Why does he fight folksy?
I'm getting. He fights just like a 20 strong man, just like.
No, he goes to hit you, but it takes 20 minutes to get to the punch.
God damn it!
Woo!
Didn't somebody throw this punch 40 years ago?
I read about this punch in a joke book my dad gave me.
Damn.
I was glad to see Norm was okay though. Norm, he was doing that quarantine talk show, and then he just said like something, and he disappeared for 3 weeks, and he came back the other day to tweet at Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, come on the podcast, Jordan." Which the timing never better to ask a nearly comatose man.
Remember when he threatened to beat up Seth Simons?
Oh, that was pretty cool.
That was awesome. Truly,
I love a New York comedy cast mentioned Seth Simons.
Yeah, my best friend Seth.
What is his deal? Like people don't like him. I don't know anything about it.
He's just a tattletale. He's like just this weaselly guy who I think he just enjoys causing mischief.
Oh,
you know why he's
comedian.
Do you know why he's successful?
He's not.
He leaked
he's successful because it doesn't matter what you print. If you print anything about stand-up, comics will fucking read and spread it regardless.
Yeah.
If you stop spreading it, no one gives a shit.
Well, it's because of the Shane thing. I feel like they really put him on the map because he's the one who like leaked that.
Yeah,
it's not that. Yeah, he leaked a thing that was already out there. That's not what fucked Shane. What fucked Shane was literally everyone making it a story when it wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, what a slow news week that was. Can you imagine that making the news right now?
I remember.
If only he waited.
Yeah.
I remember a scandalous tweet that made the fucking news. During a fucking slow news day, you.
Oh yeah, dude, Polka.
Andrew. Hey, now that you're not afraid of losing your job, why don't you go into that?
My dad's a hardcore Warriors fan, and he came into my room and he said, "How about this Andrew Polk guy, huh?"
Yeah, but do it with his terrorist accent.
No, it's the white one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the right one. Okay.
Afghans
I forgot about that.
basketball. Yeah, I
did
did too.
You got blown up by basketball Twitter.
Yeah.
Dude, that was such fucking bullshit. The most boring basketball game on the slowest fucking news day of the fucking year.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, this guy no one knows said a joke while he was fucked up.
Yeah. Polk tweeted, I hope Draymond Green gets shot in the face. And Draymond
I had some spin on it other than that.
Yeah.
He said the odds of it happening in New Orleans is really good.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he said.
Okay.
And it
was based off of Yeah, and he was playing it off a previous Charles Barkley story that everyone blew up about getting Draymond getting punched in the face.
Oh.
So it wasn't anything. My favorite thing about that was just all the comics who were no longer worried about getting booked in New Orleans deciding to finally stop pretending to be his friend so they could attack him online.
Oh yeah, dude, I saw people who clearly did not give a shit about basketball like going after you because they were enjoying the pylon. I was like, you don't like Draymond Green?
Bridges.
Yeah, man. No one's
We're
It's
burning all the bridges to all the fucking shitty bar shows in Brooklyn.
Dalton, there's no bridge to this.
That's true.
Yeah.
You're on an island with no bridges, my friend.
Yeah. We're in Chris Christie, New Jersey right now.
We're on Little St. James Island, dude.
Yeah.
I would say cut it because it's not particularly funny, and if you have fans that are listening, they don't know who she is. But
That's a good point. All right,
Yeah,
I'll consider it tomorrow. It's only because,
dude, my fan base doxes people like constantly.
yeah.
You can find that shit out, dude. Like they love to fucking take careers, lives, dude.
See, that's why I decided never to have one.
Fan base?
Yeah, you have no career, no
Think of my life, dude.
Yeah, how are you going to care about online mobs when you're fucking fist fighting coyotes?
More so, I just know she would fucking love it if she knew people were talking about her.
Yeah. Well, that I mean, it was just crazy because it was just like such a clear, like, you don't care about Draymond Green. I'll bet she's like, you know, I know you don't care about sports. So then
I think she hates black people.
why are you like piling on? Yeah. Also, like Draymond Green, who, like, if you have context for basketball, I like him, but he's a very like not well liked person. Like, he's the kind of guy you'd be bitching about if you had.
If you Google him, the first video is like him kicking 3 different people in the dick, and then you're like, I can't believe someone said something silly about that man.
It just like just shows though that people love fucking pylons, man. That's like,
oh yeah.
Yeah,
I think
like,
the comics wanted to pile onto me because, you know, I'd said that they sucked and fuck them and all that.
Oh, you mean the truth? Yeah, Andrew, you got to stop being honest.
There was one funny one I saw. Adam Rabick from Austin tweeted, "This is what Polk gets for unfollowing me," and I fucking laughed my ass off at that.
That's fun. I think so much of it was that you had a blue check. Like, I think that they thought that you were a notable. I mean, not that you're not a notable person, but like
I'm not.
Like
I'm not.
like a reporter or something. You know, like.
Yeah, the Sports Illustrated guy thought I was like a famous comedian. And then, like, Good Morning America said that I was a comedian. And, you know, it's like, oh, that's weird that I still have to go to work every morning at fucking 7 a.m.
Well, so honestly, weirdly, a lot of famous comedians still have day jobs. We're in like a really weird time.
That's my favorite Jake Flores bit.
What?
Is Louis C.K. works at a Foot Locker.
Does he have that bit?
Yeah. It's really fucking funny where he just talks about how this business, no one's really making it.
Oh, yeah. That's funny. Shout out Jake
Wow.
Flores.
Not the first time mentioning Jake Flores ruined a podcast.
We were actually talking about him right before we started recording.
Yeah.
What happened?
Would you like to...
I interviewed to live at his loft like a year ago, and it was.
I tagged you in that. I think I made that. What happened?
You matched.
Well, he called, or he asked me to call him, and he like interviewed me, and he was like, "Oh, so there's no kitchen, but you know there's a hot plate if you want to use that." And he was like, "So do you have a day job?" I was like, "Yeah, I work." And he goes, "What are your hours?" And I was like, 9 to 6. And he was like, "Yeah, that might work." I was like, "Those are normal hours, dude." I don't know what the issue is. And he was like, "Well, you know, I do my podcast here. We don't want you here when we're recording because this is how I make my money." All right, man. This sounds like it's gonna be fun. But apparently, you don't have to pay rent if you live there. So if anybody's looking for a free apartment, hit up Jake Flores.
We Polk, Jay, and Sam Talent did a tour, and one of the shows was at Jake's apartment, and I think either Polk or Sam got me on it. It was really nice of you guys. Just like a guest spot. And Jake made the lineup, and he's like, okay, do you want to go after Sam? I was like, the headliner? Like the guy who does the most time and everyone's here to see? He's like,
Sam wasn't the fucking headliner.
Well, everyone left after his set. So I was like, can I like go before that? And he's like, oh, all right. Yeah, that could work. Like, come on, man. Give me some fucking something here.
Well, I'm glad you expected professionalism at a venue where we were performing on a pentagram with blood rust dripping from pipes into pots littered around the apartment.
I would say that was a show where there were more mannequins than people. And there was a fine amount of people. There were maybe like 20 people there, but there was more mannequins.
Yeah, you walk in and there's just like graffiti fucking everywhere. It was like going into like the opening credits of Enter the Void or something. It was just like crazy.
We were performing for the Foot Clan.
Yeah, that's what Andrew said earlier.
It was like Green Room, yeah, or something. It was so crazy.
I also asked the crowd to raise their hand if they'd muted Jake on Twitter.
Well, that's the thing is like Jake, every time I've talked to him, he's been a pretty nice guy. It's so crazy.
Jake. I love Jake.
That's why it's so wild that he's like so nuts on Twitter and stuff like that.
Well, Jake is like a super nice guy. I think he's one of the funniest stand-ups in New York. He's just he gets in all these weird beefs with people on Twitter and in real life. But like I'll stand up for him anytime.
Well, he got a very public beef with Ian Fidance, who's like one of the.
Yeah, no, dude, this is fun. I love talking shit about people who get booked a little bit more than we do.
Yeah, literally like the next rung up on the not even like Seinfeld or.
Well, like, I do get sick of this thing where it's like comics are expected to all support each other. We fucking hate each other.
Really?
No,
I like you.
No, I don't.
I'm starting to really.
I don't pay
other
attention.
comics.
I don't. Here's the secret. On Facebook and Twitter, I just mute anyone that has a profile picture of them holding a microphone. Then everything's so much better.
Those get the
That's
most
true.
likes, though. By the way, whenever I post a picture of me doing stand-up, tons of likes.
It's enabling, and if they like your picture, then it means that they're doing something with their life.
Oh shit, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't actually have friends.
When Joe and I started in San Francisco, there were these bringer shows with the Purple Onion. So every single like first 2-year comic had a picture of them at the Purple Onion. Like everyone had just started comedy had like the same looking picture. Myself included.
Look at the amount of people when comedy still existed. Look at the amount of people that would just go to shows they weren't booked on to like film it or take pictures for Instagram and be like, "Man, my man is killing it right now."
Oh my god, fuck.
Yeah, it's like I don't know.
Yeah, public displays of support are very embarrassing from comics.
Sickening.
If it's disingenuous, that's the problem. Is like you have like an entrepreneurial Shark Tank kind of what's that Tim Ferriss attitude towards stand-up that is kind of overcome shitbags like us who genuinely just want to craft jokes and create something. Then we feel like we can't because we're not trying to fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're real, we're raw, we're I don't know.
We're unleashed,
I mean,
dude. We're a bunch of comics unleashed.
I do feel like all of us here, we really are fucking ourselves by trying to actually be, I don't want to say artists because that's the worst way to, I don't even know what I'm trying to say.
You're fucking yourself by paying attention to literally all the worst things. The fact that you know who Louis J. Gomez is,
all right.
You're out of your fucking mind that you care.
I like
Louis J.
I like Lewis.
You can like him.
No, dude, fuck Lewis.
No, he's an insane guy doing jokes that were funny 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, I agree. Lewis, you're on.
And like Jay, they're all terrified to respond.
I'm not.
Yeah,
dude. I'm on Jay's side, dude. I'll fist fight Lewis.
I like Lewis.
No, you don't have to do
He's
shit.
very-
It's just,
I know.
He's very strong.
No, he's not. He's just tall.
the
You wanna
funniest
fucking-
thing he's ever done. Hold on. The funniest thing he's ever done was been in a Nate Bargatze joke.
Oh yeah, he was in that.
yeah.
Damn.
When I was backstage at Skankfest, with when-
Backstage. Ooh.
yeah.
Whoa, Robbie, Mr. Show Business over here.
Well, Louis was there, and it was like
Louis
CK.
Gomez.
No, the good one. Louis
Louis
C.K.
C.K. Gomez.
Nice.
And he,
There
and he
you
was
go,
in
yeah.
a circle with Nate Bargatze, Big J. There was like a circle of like really good comics just around him talking to him, and then like a crew of like the not successful people, like kind of trying to like, including myself, like trying to poke their head in, like just like
It's
looking over like Big J's shoulder, like just like even hear what they were fucking talking about.
it's so funny how that the open mic cipher we were talking about earlier, that just never goes away. You're always going to be trying to get into this circle,
Yeah,
trying to
Well,
have
that
a
was the
conversation with
best-
people you don't know. Or
That was
don't
a
even
circle
care
where I actually
about.
felt like I deserve to be iced out of this. I really just want to hear what they're talking about, but like, yeah, it doesn't go away. Like I got, but yeah, that's like one of the biggest things I've ever done, and I still felt extremely unsuccessful the whole time.
Honest
'Cause
question.
you are.
Honest question. Besides, no one's successful. So, honest question. Honest
True.
question.
right.
What's more important to you? Doing better work or community?
Ooh,
Better
good
work.
question. Better. I don't know. Does better work?
I
Does better work
I
lead
think
to success? Or
I don't
or
believe
are
in.
you
I
just
don't
like
believe in. I don't
Yeah.
believe in success, man. Honestly, like the industry. The second anything becomes an industry, it's no longer in your hands. Like
True.
what happened? You can't make it as a musician if you're poor, and it's getting to you can't make it in sports if you're poor anymore, because there's all these rich camps that they're sending kids to from the 5th grade on to develop careers so they can sell shoes. So comedy is kind of falling into that, where the only way you could really perform comedy, because there's no financial middle class in it anymore, is if you're rich and your parents can afford for you to live in New York and LA forever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, there is a pipeline for comedy as well. You know, Chris D'Elia is a very good example of that.
Yeah.
You know, his dad's a director. I think his mom is a casting agent or something like that. And I think his brother's also a director. You have to have that foundation to get funneled into it, because the YouTube lightning is already struck. There's no more YouTube comedians. There's no more TikTok comedians. And there's no more sitcoms because no one watches TV anymore. So now you just have to already be there.
yeah.
Yeah, and to back the YouTube guys up, at least the YouTube comics have the decency to die violent automobile deaths by age of 25.
It was in the same spot where Ryan Dunn crashed.
Who was that?
I think ultimately I've made my peace with the fact that I don't know. I don't think there's any real career to be had anymore. Like
There is. It's what you build on your own. You just have to do the work. And the whole time you're posturing for a community and a fake hierarchy, none of those things fucking matter. So it's just a waste of time and energy. And then you get so broken by putting your energy into all that nonsense that then you look at comedy like, oh, comedy sucks. And like, it doesn't. It's fucking pretty awesome.
You know, comedy's awesome. And I get sick of like so many conversations with comedians, and it's fun to complain about for sure. I enjoy complaining about things with my friends.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I do think at the end of the day, I genuinely enjoy doing it, and I enjoy like working on material. I'm starting to like miss it. At first, I didn't even really miss it when all this quarantine stuff started, but I'm like, yeah, I really care about writing and performing good material. Good.
That's kind of why I like what Robbie does, because I like when like I'll scroll through the timeline like at 5 o'clock when I'm waking up, and I'll see like 3 or 4 different impressions or some weird shit. Like he's doing something with what he has.
Oh, thanks.
Now,
dude.
granted, it's not good.
Man.
I had to jab.
No.
But no, I just
They
really
are
think it's
sometimes
nice
not
to
good.
hear. No, listen, I just think there just hasn't been a fresh take on Al Pacino. Finally, someone's doing the impression.
Someone. Hey! I also do Bill Clinton. Okay. No, my comedy's been compared to like a '90s rock revival act. Which is,
There is
Yeah,
something
I mean-
to what Jay's saying, and I think coronavirus actually provides a very good platform for comedy coming back. If people can't be canceled because they don't have a job and they don't have shows, then that's fine. But also, all of these actors that are doing stand-up comedy had to move back to Raccoon Fart, Arkansas.
yeah.
And there's going to be, there is going to be room for comedy for you guys in New York, for me and Jay in Raccoon Fort, Louisiana, and everybody else trying to do shit. And, people are like piling on about podcasts and starting shit now. Now's the time to fucking do it. So I think this could actually be a good thing for the art. I don't want to say fucking art form, but for the fucking stupid thing we're all doing like idiots.
I'll call it an art form. I don't give a fuck.
It's definitely, it's a craft at least.
Finger painting is an art.
Yeah.
I've seen so much of it, I can't call it an art form.
I understand where you're.
It's a parlor trick, and sometimes I've seen very good magicians. That's it.
Let me ask you a question: Is painting with a twist art?
You got Chris Angel and D'Elia, both the same thing, basically.
I get it.
It's performative, and it's an illusion that is funny.
He's tricked like dumb hot girls, both of them.
I don't like admitting. I think like to genuine. If you're in any, I don't know, like admitting that you do art is like, that
Dalton,
sucks, dude.
It doesn't suck. Art is a fucking wonderful thing. It's just we have to pretend to be jaded that we don't appreciate art.
Yes,
that's fucking insane.
I'm not pretending that I don't appreciate art. I'm covering my tracks for accidentally calling a bunch of idiots artists.
Drew nothing but titties. Picasso drew nothing but fat twitties for like the last 10, 20 years of his life. He just drew bull dicks and fucking. He's a cum-town boy.
Oh yeah, he loved those big natties.
Bull dicks and fat titties. That was art for.
You remember a couple years ago they're like trying to like cancel Picasso? Remember when that happened?
Oh, Hannah Gadsby recently, like that was her mission statement in that fucking special was like to take down Picasso, which it's like cool. You got him.
Yeah, I'm better than
been
Picasso
dead for 300 years.
Yeah,
let's get his ass.
A guy who's literally synonymous with art, and you're gonna say we should take him down and like pretend that you're not censoring people. I mean, that's what just.
Are you talking about Louis C.K.?
Yeah. I painted these weird shapes.
Have you guys talked about the new special?
A little bit, not a lot.
Sincerely?
Yeah, sincerely.
I saw him run it in New Orleans, actually.
Yeah, I saw him run it. I helped him work on some of that. And, I enjoyed the new special. I mean, it definitely, something about it felt very weird because the Morning Star fell, he's the fallen angel. It just, it felt kind of somber in a way. Like this, I don't think he'll ever be what he once was. I think he's always gonna.
He'll definitely recover the best of the Me Too'd celebrities, but I think he's like, it feels like there's something missing. I thought the material was really good though. I liked it better. I like the leak set the best of the stuff.
Yeah, the one at Governor's.
Yeah, that was amazing.
What was missing was his security with the audience, and I think a lot of that was the fact he filmed it in Washington D.C. and it's like a weird. Big, I'm sure he did feel pressure again for the first time. I think if he filmed it in Norway, Sweden, somewhere like that, where people don't really give a fuck about whatever, I think it would have been a different feeling. And also, I do agree that the recording at Governor's was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Because it was very off the cuff, and he was visibly or audibly upset and didn't give a fuck. And he seemed to give a little fuck in the special.
Yeah, it seemed like he was trying to make a bid back for his old audience, whereas the Governor's one was like, we're It's like it was like Opie and Anthony Louie again, kind of.
Yeah, it should have just been "fuck you, this is it."
Yeah.
But that being said, I loved it, but it did feel a little weird. It didn't feel weird because he didn't address shit or he didn't do whatever Lindy West wanted him to.
Well, I don't expect him to go on stage and like outright apologize. I don't want him to have to go on and.
He did fucking apologize. Yeah.
He
apologized.
He's the only fucking person who apologized.
That's a good point. Yeah. What?
It feels weird that he barely like glosses over it in the special, and I would have liked more about what happened, but I don't know. Maybe he's just not.
I mean, that material.
I can't. What he's been through. He's truly suffered the most.
It's a personal experience, and you can't talk about it until you're ready to. And maybe he's not ready to, but that doesn't mean he shouldn't be ready to do his job again.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what's he going to do? Work at the fucking bank? He's a comic.
Yeah. That would be funny, though, just to go to the bank and Louis C.K. as your teller. Would you like your fucking cunt dollars?
Your cunt dollars.
But,
the bitch money.
The bitch fucking faggot money. But I thought I thought the material addressing it, I don't think he's not gonna win anyone over with that, but I thought it was funny material. Like I thought that material was really good. Like the stuff that I thought when he was like trying to do like regular Louis bits, there was a little something missing because it was like can't go back I don't know. You know what I mean? You know what it was? He kind of what's great about Louis is he's kind of like explains things like I'm from a moral high position and this is how things should be and this is how things are. And now that he's kind of more of a fallen star, it's like a little bit different. It's like it's not quite.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, dude. I fucking hate that he's Mexican.
Yeah,
that's your issue with him,
dude. That's so disappointing, dude. Where'd Jay go?
He's gone, dude.
He's gone. Louis was Jay's line after everything we said.
No, I had to take my headphones out so I can charge my phone to.
Oh, for sure.
Does anyone else? Yeah. Does anyone else feel? Because I've been struggling, dude. Everybody's struggling, but I genuinely feel like I'm just I got nothing in me these days. I'm not creative anymore. I've just been gaming, and I feel like I'm losing my mojo.
Comedy mojo?
Everything, dude. I used to be so creative. I used to be the golden boy of New York.
You are pretty prolific, Dalton. Like you always have new bits every time I see you. But
yeah, I mean that's like one of my favorite things about doing comedy that I miss a lot is just like going on stage with no ideas and just kind of trying to figure something out, something new. Look, I write from the stage, you know. I don't know.
Here's a question for you guys. What do you guys think about like? Because this is something I was thinking about with like the Seinfeld special. I know Dalton hated it. A lot of people.
It fucking sucks, dude. It's like on a technical level, he's a great performer. Like he clearly understands the craft of comedy. But
aren't
there's
you
just
supposed to technically be funny.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like
It's Daria.
Yes, exactly. It's like he knows the timing and like he understands the structure of a joke, but there's no humanity. There's no real humor in it. It doesn't feel like he's connected to anything he's saying. It's just not funny. I don't understand the Seinfeld
I don't know.
sitcom,
I was laughing at it, but it's like.
But you have bad taste.
Yeah. Oh well, I like you, Dalton. So yeah, I have bad taste.
I like you too, Robbie.
Thanks, man.
You want to fight?
But that's the thing. It's like here's why I like it. Every fucking special that comes out lately has clearly been. I know this is like an old hat, but it's literally every special now has been material that was written clearly in the last like year and a half, and it's ironic to say this about jokes that are like 10 to 20 years old, but it was like refreshing to see like an actual like act. Like I was like watching like, oh, this
Dude.
guy's like really honed this.
Your bar is so low. He polished a turd. Like he fucking.
But it's honestly, my bar is like really high. I don't finish most specials because it doesn't feel like an act. It doesn't feel like I'm watching something that you could headline with a lot of times when I watch these specials.
Well, it's
I mean,
because
you really
comedy
do.
became. It's because comedy became about your personality and not your talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Just
even
look at Bert Kreischer. I mean, goddamn, there's
there's
you
no
mean
way.
the artist.
Yeah, the artist
He's
known
the
as Bert
fartist.
Kreischer,
Yeah.
the Picasso
No, that's
of
still Brian Posehn.
Yeah.
yeah.
He was still the fartist.
I finally watched The Machine Story for the first time this weekend, and I don't think it's true. I think he made all that up.
Yeah. You think, Robbie?
It's just so clearly made up. I'm surprised he's gotten so much mileage out of it.
I don't know, dude. I'm like, I feel like maybe I'm just not good at comedy, and I'm
Ding 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 ding.
Yeah.
No.
I don't. Maybe I just don't understand comedy, but so many of the like comics that people love and respect, I'll watch their stuff, and I'm like, this is fucking terrible. Like I don't get why anyone likes this. But maybe I'm a bad person.
I think we are jaded though. Like I can't watch like any special anymore, but people love those specials. A lot of people watch them, so I think people do. Like I was at the airport.
Everybody watches the first 10 minutes.
Yeah. When everyone was shitting on Netflix coming out with that like 12-minute specials, I was like, that's actually a good idea because I actually
pitched that to one of their creative development people. Before they started releasing Netflix specials, I was talking to them, and my biggest bitch was like, why don't you just do what Comedy Central should have been doing? Have your own premium blend, have your own half hour, build it up, because all your new acts can't turn around material over and over again. But the reason why those kind of went to shit, everyone that got like a 10 or 12-minute Netflix special did not do their A game.
Yeah.
They did their like, I got to save this for my hour. I'm going to give you this 10 minutes that's kind of just bullshit.
That's true.
In their defense, though, I'll say, like, I imagine those shows are, like, I can't imagine those are good shows. Like,
oh, yeah. My friend was in the audience of one of them. Yeah, it was filmed in L.A., and it was all paid audience members. It was all people who paid to be there.
Well, I know, I'm not going to say their name, but I know a comic that did one of those 12-minute specials, and then they were on Joe Rogan, and they said they got about 218 followers from the Netflix special over a couple months' time. And then when they were on Rogan, they got 10,000 plus followers.
Wow. We got to get on Joe Rogan, boys.
We can look, hold on. We can talk shit about anyone we want, but nobody better say a goddamn thing about Joe Rogan.
No. Shout out
We
Joe
love
Rogan.
Rogan, dude.
No, he's a friend of the show.
Yeah.
I call him Joe. I'm on a first name basis with him.
I call him Joey. My pal Joey.
Rogan.
Did Ben talk about getting the coronavirus test from Joe Rogan?
He didn't, but I heard about it. Yeah, Joe just has a bunch of tests for his guests, and Ben went in there with Tim Dillon, and he got a corona test. He's negative, so that's good. We barely talked to. We forgot to interview Ben at all.
That's the thing about doing these remote shows are so fucking hard. I feel like I haven't been particularly good at any.
No, they're hard to watch too.
Yeah, it's so hard to do anything virtually. Like what
are you talking about? People have been virtually doing comedy for like the past 10 years.
You're right, Jay. Yes, you're right.
Well, I think the social distancing is almost over.
I hope so, man, because I want to get some pussy.
Dude,
you know what I'm talking about, dude?
Everyone's talking about their comedy goals. The minute quarantine's over, I'm just focused on getting as much gash as possible.
I know, dude. I'm gonna fucking throw a woman against a wall.
No, Joe. No.
What?
Nothing.
Joe, you said you were on a Hinge, right?
I was. Yeah,
is that the good one?
Huh?
Is that the good app?
No.
That's the one with all the pigs.
I'm single for the first time in 3.5 years. I don't know any of the apps. What are the apps? Tell me about them.
Damn, dude, you got to find like these online prostitution websites, man. That's what everyone's.
Eros.com.
Yeah.
I need names, Joe. Give me the names.
What was it? Eros.com?
Eros.com.
Hook
Yes.
R is the app.
Yeah. Hook R.
Whore.biz.
If you go, oh wait, I shouldn't admit this. Never mind. You guys want to talk
okay.
about something?
Come
okay.
on.
I've browsed the prostitute website, and it's funny because it's like turns out porn stars are also hookers, especially in New York. Every now and then you'll just see like a pretty famous porn stars in the neighborhood.
Whoa.
And yeah, so it's like recently Jada Stevens was on
What?
Eros, and you can fuck Jada Stevens. If she's in New York, you fuck her for like $1,500.
Damn, I'd pay
Holy
that.
Start
shit.
spreading the AIDS. Fuck. Damn,
A friend
that's
of mine
awesome.
gave me the number to a brothel in Astoria. I know where some Hungarian whores are for like $200 each.
I feel like prostitutes are a bad idea right now with the
Nah, dude.
with the damn disease.
No way, man.
I'll risk it.
No way.
All
I
right,
don't really need a Western European prostitute. I mostly was
Oh, sorry, dude.
asking what the
That's
most.
hilarious.
Andrew, you have no idea who you're talking to.
I was asking what a dating app was. And you're like,
No,
well, if you want to get
you-
fucked in the ass by a Romanian transgender woman,
You are
no, I
absolutely
don't.
talking to the wrong people about dating, dude. Now, if you want to know where cheap whores are,
Oh.
we're your guys.
Oh,
If
hey.
you want to know how to pay for sex,
I bet
Oh,
yeah.
Robbie knows where the women are. Robbie's
Yeah.
the most handsome person here. Other
Oh,
than
thank you.
mustache, he knows.
Yeah. I think you would like Hinge because it's the easiest one to start a conversation with, in my opinion. Tinder still has the hottest girls. Bumble is frustrating because the girl has to message first, and that doesn't happen a lot with my profile. believe it or
Oof.
not.
dude, just go on Instagram, find a girl that you like, and then like one of her pictures from 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's an ancient Indian method.
Yeah, dude.
I've been talking to a lot of exes. All my exes, I'm old. All my exes have kids.
Oh,
so now I
wow.
gotta navigate
Dang.
that fucking minefield.
Dude, I'm getting a lot of married women watching a lot of my stories and reacting to stuff. It's like, dude.
Damn you, dude. You're getting some Ashley Madisons?
Yeah. Again, I mean, like, I think it's just like a fantasy, or maybe their bar is lower. I don't know. But it's just
a
funny.
married woman's fantasy.
Well, these girls that watch all of my stories, I'm like, married, boyfriend, married. It's just like, what is that? What the fuck?
Well, maybe that's why they're watching. They're married, so they're fucking bored out of their mind, and they're having a little Robbie Goodwin fantasy.
True. True.
Well, I try not to do that anymore. I used to read.
Have a Robbie Goodwin fantasy?
Dude, I can't. I used to think about Robbie all the time.
He doesn't want to bring
and
his work home with him.
And I just had to accept the fact one day that it would just never happen with me and Robbie. And it was really hard. Because I tend to obsess over one person.
Yeah, and you're
Yeah.
both gay, so it seems
We're
like it
both
would
me
make
and
sense.
Robbie are both
Yeah.
gay, and it sucks that he doesn't want to go out with me.
Yeah, it's a real when Harry met Sally situation.
When I met Harry,
When Harry met Harry. When Harry met Harry Arms. Tom
When Harry
Arnold.
met Harrier.
There you go. There
Yep.
we go. We did it. We did it.
Yeah. Great work. Great teamwork, team.
Every Billy Crystal movie has like a minute where he just does shtick. Like I was watching Analyze This, and there's just like a minute where he just does stand up for the mob, like for no reason, and it's very awkwardly shoehorned in. It was like, why does this therapist know how to do voices? I don't understand what the fucking. It's very bizarre that he was a huge movie star.
How high is Joe? Joe has been smoking.
dude.
dude, Joe.
Chilling, man.
Joe
Hanging.
Joe took a tolerance break 2 days ago that lasted 12 hours.
Dude,
Yeah.
hard. I was shaking uncontrollably.
Joe comes into this podcast just fucking blitzed.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
at beer. I've had a few as well. So
Yeah.
I have a contact high from Joe.
Whoa, man.
I
Yeah.
fell off the wagon. I had
Yeah.
some White Claws earlier.
That's
Really?
all right, doggy.
Yeah.
Whatever makes you feel like a big tough man.
Yeah, my weekends have just been drinking up a storm.
I don't know what to fucking do anymore. I'm just stuck inside all the goddamn time. I can't hang out with anybody.
Our board and our anxiety is through the roof.
Yeah, man.
This is a horrible time to cut back.
We all get fucked up, dude.
Have you
Can
tried?
people in New York not go outside? Are you guys not going outside?
You can go outside. All the fucking black people in my neighborhood are having
Whoa.
Come on, man. Come on, Dalton.
Dude, you hear something? I'm sorry. You hear something funny, though? I stepped out of my room the other night, and there was just an entire family in my living room I had never met.
Yikes.
Dude, and I was like, what the fuck is that? They were just like cooking on the stuff. Like, all these people I never met.
Oh my
and
God.
I texted the landlord. I was like, "Hey man, did like a whole family move in?" He said, "No." Or who all is there? I'm like, "Yeah, there's like a bunch of people here. There's a toddler running around." And he texted the guy that is living here. I was like, "Yo, these people gotta leave." So I accidentally snitched on a bunch of black people.
Yeah. Well, the worst was when you said there's a bunch of Obama types in my living room. That's just not.
You're like, what is the term? A murder of black people?
I think Mel Gibson called them a pack, which is so racist. A pack.
Didn't he do that while he was
really
filming
did. He
the
said,
movie
he
where
said,
he had a puppet that was a gopher?
Yeah, the beaver, dude.
That's right.
Well, he had just come back from the Jew comments, so he was like, "It's like if Louis went out and jerked off, even like right now." Like, all right, just making my comeback.
To answer your question, you can go places in New York, but it's like nothing's open right now. Like if you go into any restaurant or cafe, you gotta like it's all to go. You can't hang out anywhere.
Yeah.
There's no like gatherings anymore, which is kind of the appeal of New York is like to gather places.
I love
so
New
it's
York.
it's just a really depressing place to be right now because like you're just cooped up. Like there's nothing to do. There's nowhere to go. You know, I went for a walk yesterday, but I don't know. So I'm drinking again. That's the point. That's what I'm trying to say is I'm falling off the wagon. My life is in shambles. It's getting very dark for me. And
the podcast isn't helping.
Yeah.
The podcast is definitely not helping.
It's an enabler. Joe and I are not good sponsors.
Well, I was sober. Here's the thing. I was sober for like 2 years, and then when I was in New York, I was feeling good, and I was sick of going to bars, going to open mics, and not being able to drink with anybody. And then one night I was like, all right, I'm gonna have a few beers. I started drinking, and then this girl I liked pulled me to the side and was like, hey, she gave me some talking to, and I was like, oh, well, this girl I have a crush on cares about me, so I guess I'll go back on the wagon, which is a surefire way to make sure they don't respect you is when you do what they want. That's why I don't know, dude.
No, and I think you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. I don't think. Yeah, I think she was genuinely.
No, I know she was being a good friend. I don't look.
She wasn't playing
know,
games with you on that.
I know she wasn't. I'm fucking around, dude.
Polk, how's the? Have you been drinking a lot over there in New Orleans?
Well, it's. I think the leaving house scenario is a little bit better here because, well, one, I live next to two parks, so I can go walk around and do all that shit. But there's no open container here, so I can walk around with a fucking backpack full of beer, go sit on a log, read a book, that kind of shit. That's what I've been doing.
That is nice.
And I've also been seeing people. You know, I'm not. I was saying that it's so funny how like all of our friends are like kill the government, like super communist, super liberal, and then the second the government tells them to stay at home, they're like, yes, I will. I'll stay here forever.
That has been one of the weirdest phenomenons.
Well, they want it.
All these people.
Yeah,
all these people
they're losers. They're losers.
Well,
they want to stay home.
They're commies who hate themselves, so they love being punished by the government. That's like.
Well, all these people who claim to be anti-establishment, who want the revolution to happen, the second this shit went down, they all started scolding anyone who left their fucking home, and like completely fell in line with this fucking narrative.
Well, they want, but that's what they want. This is like, they don't want a revolution. They want like a fucking surveillance state where everyone's punished for like they
whichever
want to see,
fucking way the wind is
blowing. All the commies.
Hold on. They want a surveillance state. He said on his laptop cam.
Yeah, exactly.
We're in the fucking Chinese.
We're moving fucking right towards it. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, a lot of leftists just want to see shit burn down. And that's what's happening. So that's why.
But they don't want it. They actually don't want to see shit burn down. They're gonna listen to the fucking mayor.
Yeah.
Why does the mayor makes laws? The mayor fucking cuts the ribbon at Baskin Robbins, and now you're like, oh, the mayor told us to stay home forever, and that's fine. Fuck
we
you.
have to listen to the president.
Back home, the Addison Improv opened back up, and they're doing shows at like 25% capacity, and all these friends of mine are doing shows there.
Good.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's good. And then another group of I'm in this like secret. There's tons of secret Facebook groups where it's just people shit talking friends of theirs. That's all comedy is talking shit about your friends. And all these people are like, look at these fucking scumbags doing comedy. And it's like, what is the solution here? I don't understand. Are we just gonna fucking not go?
Yeah,
anywhere?
they want people to stay inside for 16 months until there's a vaccine, and then I guess society will come back. And like the vaccine isn't even foolproof. Like I can't have the flu vaccine because I'm allergic to the flu vaccine.
Oh really?
So the flu vaccine has albumin, which comes from eggs in it, so I can't have it. So maybe the coronavirus vaccine has stuff that people are allergic to, and then there won't be 100% of people having it. I don't know. I don't think it's wrong for people to stay away from people. I just think that they're pussies when they're saying like, yeah, kill the president. And then also they're terrified of the mayor's rules.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they just like to scold people at the end of the day, I think. Also.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they're furious because they can't get anybody canceled right now.
Yeah.
Like,
man.
None of us are gonna get canceled. Oh, are you gonna get me fired from my no job?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm actually terrified of it. Anyway.
Are you scared?
But whatever. Yeah, I am a little. I mean, because I just like got it. I'm not gonna talk about any of that. Anyway. But yeah.
Come on, Robbie. Let it out.
No, just like this shit fucking sucks. People like, especially now that a lot of them have like, I mean, did you see that shit with Kurt Metzger? Like those Armenians, like he said something rude about the Armenian genocide. And I'm getting a bunch of comments somehow on my posts, like being like, we need to cancel Kurt Metzger. We need to, here's the number for his manager, like all this shit.
Well, you're basically Armenian.
Yeah, I think they think I'm one of them. Like this guy looks like he could be in a tracksuit. No, they're trying to get Kurt Metzger and
you do smell very good, Robbie.
I do
when you're driving Uber, dude, your car is nice, dude. It's
white BMW. What the BMW, baby? Also, Ramsey Badawi is dragged into this too, and Ryan Vokey. Yeah, they're both.
Oh,
they're both like They're both like, let's get all these guys fired. Which
what
is
a
crazy.
fucking hard target to go after Kurt Metzger, the king of show business himself.
The guy.
I mean.
Yeah.
But it's also like at the end of the day, everything on Twitter is 800 people. There's 800 people mad at Brian Vokey and Ramsey. No one knows who the fuck any of these people. If you walked outside right now and grabbed the first person you saw and were like, who's Hannibal Buress? They'd be like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Who's gonna know who the fuck any of these people are?
Yeah, my mom like barely knows who Chris Rock is. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's such an insular, like, small world. None of this shit matters.
But that's the problem is, like, online makes small worlds feel much bigger.
Yeah, and that was a big thing with my Draymond thing. Because I was like, oh, fuck, now you Google me and I'm done for. But
well, that actually was very bad what you did, Andrew.
yeah.
Shut the fuck up, Dalton. What room are you in? Why are there 50 cords next to you?
I'm in my office, dude. There's an office in this apartment.
Is your office where you're building an Iron Man suit? It looks like you're in a fucking cave.
Yeah, I'm in
you're
the
in a kill room from the movie Saw. And if you don't solve a puzzle, it's gonna explode.
I hope it does, dude. I'm ready to die.
And you're wearing a sweater? What is the temperature there?
I'm wearing the top to a tracksuit.
Are you wearing pants?
Very nice, dude.
I'm wearing pajama bottoms. I've been wearing this.
He looks very handsome. Dalton, you don't have to show off your body like this.
Want to play a game?
I can't even really see. It's kind of dim in here. But
What's-
pants,
Poor old since you're already standing, dude.
What is that even?
I don't
Okay.
know. Look, I've been wearing the same clothes for like 2 weeks now, dude. I smell really bad. I got a rash from wearing the same hoodie for like a week. I had to change.
Yeah, I was
into the
trying to
tracksuit
do
I was
laundry,
wearing.
but there were 11 black people in my living room. Fucking do laundry, Dalton. Then I
Yeah.
went outside, and there are even more of them.
No, I like black people.
He called-
Let the record show.
Yeah, let's get that on the record.
Let's get that on the record.
He said living room, but he really meant his street, his
Oh,
block.
man.
All right, guys.
No, dude. Jay, how are you doing, man? You haven't said anything in quite a while.
I was enjoying Andrew's rant about how shitty your life is.
No, dude, my life is good right now. I'm in a really good apartment.
Well, it's funny.
What a flip!
Yeah.
Yeah, Dalton goes back and forth. Well, it's funny. Comedy clubs like have to operate at 25% capacity, considering most of them are at like 26%, 27% before this.
Oh, damn, Robbie. Whoa.
This guy doesn't even want to perform at Dangerfields if it opens.
They were like
Dangerfield's-
0.05%.
Dangerfields is
damn.
easily the worst comedy club in the. That is the most depressing place.
You mean
I've
the
ever
Joker's
been.
home club?
Please book me if you open back up. But
It sucks that it's like named after like this great comic, but it's such like a shitty fucking.
Well, they don't have to make a
great
profit. They
comic.
own.
Yeah.
They don't have to own. It's just like a museum, basically. It has like
That's
a
what sucks about
grant
it.
or some shit.
Yeah,
I
it's like if there's
started
a
it,
comedy club called Vince Champs.
Yeah, I'm opening up Cosby's.
Yeah, I'm middling at the Aaron Glazer improv.
All these are actual drink items, the names of cocktails at comedy clubs.
I think
What's
you-
the menu at the White Tiger, Jay? Give me the comedy special drinks at the White Tiger. If you guys don't know, the White Tiger is the club in San Antonio.
Blind.
Isn't it the Blind Tiger?
Whatever the fuck. Fuck
The
you.
White Tiger is my club.
I like. That's what you call your apartment after you kicked out the black guy.
Yeah.
What are the drinks, Jay? Give them to me.
I don't know because we're just in the
What's-
basement of a children's restaurant.
What's the Sam Talent at the Blind Tiger Comedy Club?
The Sam Town. It's don't make me shit on Sam.
It's a tall boy
I,
class. Go ahead with that. It's a tall boy.
It's whatever it is. The drink makes you litter every joke with a '90s rock act reference.
Damn, I don't know Sam, but yeah,
That's
that sounds
really
accurate.
funny, and I love Sam though, dude. It's so funny that Andrew and Jay and Sam all went on tour and somehow got booked at the Good Comedy Theater. Probably the last white guys that will ever be booked
Woo!
there. That's so funny.
They did not like me.
I mean, yeah, if you don't know, it's like known as being like a really woke club, like super
yeah.
fucking woke.
Well, they banned Lemaire for going on
Shane
Shane's
Gillis's
show
show,
on
yeah.
on Compound. They banned him just
Yeah.
for associating with the Kumian universe.
Well, they
Damn.
said that they banned anybody who had ever been on Compound Media, but then they like had the Cometown guys on later. So the only people they really enforced it with was Lemaire.
Yeah.
They just banned a black guy. That was it, as a show of like solidarity and strength. We should get Lemaire on. He's great.
He's our
Lemaire
next
is awesome.
guest.
Yeah.
He's a real ass dude.
Stop, dude. Let's not. We don't need to pay credence to fucking Louis J. Gomez.
All right,
I
Dalton.
will fight him.
You're the one who
He fu-
listens to every episode.
Nah, dude. No. I hate Louis. I'm
like
glad
how-
his mom died.
You know, Jay, you are kind of like Dalton's dad. He's like kind of be a little more tough with you in the room.
Yeah.
Trying to
Yeah.
fight back a little bit.
Yeah, it's I've been watching the Jordan documentary, so I'm trying to make him like Scotty Pippen.
All right.
I don't know, dude. I'm just like I'm at my wits end, dude. I don't care
Dalton-
about.
Here, I'll describe Dalton. Dalton
Go.
is genuinely hilarious. He just doesn't have his own sense of self yet, so he doesn't have a point of view. Like it's still developing.
Interesting.
Damn, dude, that hurts.
Why? That's human.
I know you're right. I mean, I don't know, dude.
You're an open human
How
being.
old are you, Dalton? How old are you?
I turn 27 tomorrow.
Oh, happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
You're right. You're right, Jay. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I probably have a more fleshed out point of view than most of the fucking open micers I see. But you're right. I don't really have my own.
Dalton actually stands out here. I think, the Southern.
It's because he writes jokes.
Yeah. Honestly.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's so
But
funny when Dalton will show up to like alt Brooklyn stuff and go be like, I like The Irishman because it starred white guys. And it just
Oh, it's funny though. All that shit, like the alt Brooklyn thing, they do just like jokes because I do well in those rooms.
You do.
It's
yeah.
like all the shit that they complain about. It is just like edgelords who don't have any real jokes that they don't like. Because it's like I'll do edgy. I don't go out of my way to be edgy, but I mean I'll do shit like that from time to time. But I'm good at writing jokes, so I can make those people laugh.
It does depend on the room, though. Like some places will shrink the minute you say like anything. Like
yeah, but once they can see that it's coming from like a good place and that you actually know what you're doing, they'll join in with you. I mean, not all the time. Sometimes
but I also think that your character lends itself really well to doing that stuff because
it's not a character. I am racist.
Yeah. Well, you kind of like you play the fool on stage, so there's a little bit more like a distance from it. I think it'd be like, okay.
Yeah,
But
I guess.
If I go up there and say something like, "This guy's been to college," we know we can like get mad at him, and he'll, I don't know. That came off more mean than I intended it.
This is my only problem with it. It's like every comedy conversation I get into, it just sounds like a bunch of people defeated. Like, do you want to define? What do you want? Do you want to define your audience, or you want the audience to define you?
I'd much rather define my audience.
I would rather define the audience.
Then don't fucking worry about everyone else's fucking feelings and shit like that. Be conscious of it, be aware of it, so when you write your setup, you can control where the audience is thinking. Everyone's so worried about the punchline, but nobody writes good setups because they're overqualified. Just write the correct way to get to the joke, to get your point of view across, so you can control how the audience thinks, so you can make them laugh.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
True.
Yeah, I think versatility is a very underutilized comedy skill.
I think
because a lot of people think it goes against their character or
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think what Jay is saying about like, yeah, you do get in a lot of conversations with other comedians, and every one of them are just people acting like their break never came, and I don't know. Everybody,
what break? Everyone's
exactly
worried about. Oh, I hope I don't get banned from that show that doesn't pay.
Nah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Everybody that does this feels, whether you're a white man or a fucking trans Indian woman, it's like everybody feels like they're owed something, and it's like you're not owed a goddamn thing. It's like nobody asked you to do this. You're chasing your fucking dream, and it's like. Yeah, just deal with it. Like you're not entitled to anything. There's nothing that should happen. The only thing that should happen in this is nothing. Like that's I don't know.
I will say though, like to combat. I mean, not that I'm owed anything, but I will say like the bitterness also comes from the fact that I do like comedy. Like I'm a big comedy fan and stuff. So when I kind of see mediocrity get passed and promoted, I get kind of mad, and I get mad that they don't make it.
That has nothing to do with you. That like
Robbie,
that has no bearing on.
Robbie, mediocrity has always been very successful.
It's true. It seems worse than ever, though.
Yeah, so Robbie, you're going to be very successful in this business.
You think so? Yeah. What's the issue?
The only people that are successful because they either connect to an audience and people care about them and it's a mutual thing, or they can make someone else money.
True. Yeah.
That's it. That's success.
And some yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the thing. It's like at the end of the day, I don't see a ton of people who are crushing who don't have anything. So that's also focusing on just getting better is important and stuff.
It doesn't matter.
Like-
Comedy's dead now.
Yeah,
Well,
I guess,
hold on.
I guess
Never
none of
coming
this
back.
matters.
It's been dead forever.
That's true.
Yeah. It's been dead for a minute. Yeah.
Honest question. Is Shane Gillis funny?
Yeah, he's
Yes,
great.
I would say he's very funny. Yeah.
Okay. Is he funny for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour?
10 minutes.
A lifetime.
I haven't seen his hour, but his showcases, he's always the best on a showcase.
I would say he has a solid 10. I can't
Based on-
imagine I
Follow-up
can't imagine
question.
an hour.
Follow-up question. Laugh, enjoy it. Is Shane Gillis doing anything that hasn't already been done before?
No.
No, it's pretty broad stuff, honestly.
Then this is where we get down to a value system. If your value is to be original and be forward-thinking, be like truly top 10 tier, then you're arguing over the cluttered mess that is mediocrity, when you should just ignore that and just try to be better than that and get deeper and deeper with how you think and what you actually care about and making it funny on stage, instead of worrying about all this nonsense that only mediocre people worry about.
True.
Yeah.
It's a waste
Yeah.
of time.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
honestly, this podcast helps. It makes me think that
Yeah.
we're doing cool some
Oh,
stuff.
well, yeah, talking with like-minded people about this is always beneficial. But at some point, are we just enabling you?
Yeah,
we
dude,
still have
that's
to-
what I think all the time. Well, comics are
know?
like drug addicts, and that has never been more clear than right now.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
that's what-
All
yeah,
these people fiending online. And
Yeah, that's-
and that's what addicts do. They enable each other and they're like, this is fine. How great is this?
Yeah, my thing is with all my friends, I talk to Polk all the time. It always comes down to, well, be human beings first. Let's talk real shit. And then when we talk about comedy, it's not necessarily who's getting booked where. It's what the fuck are you writing right now? What do you care about? What are you talking about?
Yeah,
And then we're just be funny.
I would say Jay and I almost never talk about who's getting what unless it's one of the 4 people we're friends with.
Yeah. Well, I don't know all the people that you know because who gives
Well,
a
I
fuck?
don't fucking know anybody anymore. I don't know anybody that started within the last 6 years. I just don't know them. I know that they're taking spots that I would love and all that
Yeah.
shit. I just don't fucking know.
But that's the way to do it, because it's any time you invest in it, whatever anyone else is getting is such a waste of fucking time. It's I've spent so much time just looking at people post the shows that they're booked for and just getting upset about it. And it's I feel so silly for doing that because it doesn't accomplish anything. It's just,
It does take
just
up
bitter.
a majority of my brain space.
It makes you feel good to kind of be the local police for whatever thing that you feel protective of, but then you kind of realize that you're wasting your time and no one cares because 99.9% of people don't know about this stuff and they don't care about it.
It's a good
That's
summary
true,
of this
yeah.
whole episode. Nobody knows
Well,
anything.
yeah, I mean, all,
But that doesn't deflate the fact that you guys should be doing stuff like this. Me and Jay should be guests on shit like this, and me and Jay should be doing stuff like this.
yeah, it's good to create. I get it. The cliche with podcasting now is, oh, everybody has a podcast or all that shit. But it's
But
it's
everybody
good to-
knows 50 people that'll listen to your podcast.
yeah, it's
And
good
there's
to
not-
do stuff.
There's not a lot of there's a ton of podcasts, but there's not a lot of podcasts that everyone likes to listen to. You know what I mean? I only listen to 3 podcasts that I really, really love,
Well, there's not a lot of podcasts that openly shit on Ian Fidance, but we're after him, dude. We're
Yeah.
coming after
Damn.
Ian.
Well, I mean, how many people go up every day and do stand up before coronavirus? A lot of people, but that
Mhm.
doesn't stop you from doing it. And, like I said earlier, I think this is the best time to do stuff.
True. All right, guys. I'm pretty
That
tired.
was a beautiful ending for this podcast. Though.
Yeah.
Good.
Nah, dude, we can't.
Joe,
can't,
you're
man. We're
high
just
as
getting-
shit, Joe.
Damn,
You're
dude.
fucking
But
in
like,
space.
I had a spiritual experience, man. You know how some people like to toke up and listen to Jimi Hendrix?
I'm very curious about Joe's background. It looks like you're laying on the ground of an Olympic pool that's been...
I am. I'm just chilling, dude.
He's
Hold on.
training.
I'm hanging
I
out,
got a
man.
question.
Who has a royal blue striped wall? Where are you?
Oh, that's for me to know and you to find out.
Are you in a dojo? I think you're
I
in
am.
a dojo.
He's actually in the Epstein
well,
temple.
comedy is my gym, and I work out daily, dog.
No, he's inside a he's inside a Greek restaurant.
Well, that was what was funny was
Hey,
during
Joe, could you move your camera to the Athenian mural to the right, next to where they give out the euros? Oh shit, you live it nice. I got a question before we leave. How many people would you let Joe Biden, like how many children would you let Joe Biden have sex with to get health care?
Oh, at least 20.
a lot.
20.
Why would you?
Anything to get Trump out of office. That's what I say.
Yeah. The Cheeto in chief.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think that kind of like that's the thing about like I don't know about being like a pedophile, but
yeah. Bold
I
statement.
don't know
Dude. I don't know. Look, I don't know about being a
He
pedophile.
seems like a nice guy. I don't know.
I'd vote for Woody Allen. I guess I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. One.
Wrong answer, dude.
Is it?
I'm
I'm just kind of curious. I've been asking people this question, just like, if you really get down to it, national health care that could save lives, but you have to vote for a guy that's going to fuck kids.
I mean,
wow.
that's the thing. It's like that's the Trump argument is that they go, you shouldn't conflate morality with politics, and to some, or personal morality with, it's separating the art from the artist. And I do consider Joe Biden to be an artist. But yeah, it's like, at the end of the day, your political ideals maybe are above personality judgments, although there's a...
Yeah, your political ideas transcend pedophilia. It's like...
I mean, honestly, on some level, I don't understand, that's why, that is kind of a Trumpian argument, but 55 million people voted for him.
Are we still voting?
Trump fucked kids,
No,
but
we don't
get
have to
healthcare.
now.
What was that, Jay?
Sorry, Jay.
Trump fucked kids, but we didn't get health care.
But
Yeah,
he fucked his
exactly.
own kids. It's different, dude. Like, that's your own property. Like, yeah, he fucked his daughter. It's his
like how you-
daughter.
It's like
Biden's going around fucking other people's daughter. That's their daughter to fuck. He shouldn't fuck their daughter, dude.
Yeah,
That's
Joe.
what I-
That was
To
problem.
Joe, this is a personal property argument.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, man,
This
the
is
only
a
thing Donald Trump's
9/10.
guilty of is getting high on his own supply.
Joe
Bogart these other kids for people.
Joe puts a no trespassing sign on his kids.
Yeah. In front of my kindercare.
Don't tread on me.
Hey, pedophile! See the sign?
Hey. Back off,
Hey,
fellas.
But does voting, or is everybody even still voting?
No.
Like,
I'm too shy.
I've never voted. I don't vote. I refuse to vote.
I'm
It's dumb,
in a-
dude. It's gay. How come no one says this? It's fucking gay.
yes,
gonna-
voting
Who
is
fucking
gay.
votes?
I've said that
Gay
for
people
many
that want to
years
get
now.
married. Gay people that want to adopt. That's who's voting, dude. Who's gonna? You think I'm a cool guy, man? If I want a baby, I'll fucking get someone pregnant. I won't have to adopt. Come on. Yeah, if I
Joe's
want to
so
get married,
goddamn
I'll
high.
get married. I'm not gonna marry a dude. I'm gonna marry a chick.
I'm
gonna-
not voting. I'm not voting because I can't ask a single anti-Trump person like, hey, how is your life worse because Trump is president? I've never gotten a fucking real answer for that.
No,
I'm gonna- I'm gonna vote.
it hasn't affected anyone's day to day really, other than it's the only thing anyone's talked about for the last
He
4
made
years.
my life better, dude. He gave me $1,200. President gave me money, dude. That guy's a fucking homie. No
It's
questions
true.
asked, too. He's
man.
like, dude, whatever you want to spend it on, man. Happy
Joe's
birthday.
Joe's been
Joe, Joe, you look like the Virgin Mary with that background and the light.
I wish that $1,200 stimulus check had been like an offer. They were like, "You want the $1,200 check, or what's in the box?"
The box.
The box. Show me the box.
Don't look at the box. Don't look at the box.
Ooh, dish soap.
Ari Manis did that once at the Comedy Store. He was hosting the mic, and he just did a thing where he was like, "Okay, so for the next comedian," he just did this to a random comedian. He was like, "Next comedian, I'm gonna do a little fun thing. You can either have what's in this envelope, or you could take a spot on the next Friends and Family show." And she took the show, and he opened it up, and there was $1,200 in the wallet.
Whoa! God damn, dude.
Yeah. She got so sad.
Imagine still having to do that show after. Like,
he ended up.
night.
Yeah, I think he ended up giving her the money too.
Oh,
but,
what a
But
pussy.
why? What an
That's
asshole!
I know,
Give
but that
me
would have been.
money.
But
That's how unfunny she was. He didn't want to.
Who was it?
I don't remember. It was just some open micer who was doing potluck.
It was Taylor Tomlinson.
It was Taylor
Damn.
Tomlinson. Yeah, it was Joan Rivers. All right, guys. Damn, we did like 2 hours.
Man, what a fucking
Dude, we can
masterpiece.
let's keep going. Jay, how are you doing? How are you holding up in quarantine?
He tried to kill himself.
Dude,
We should
Dalton
all
always
kiss the
does it.
webcam.
I don't know, dude. I don't get to see people. This is the only fucking time. I've just been playing video games for the last week.
What are you playing? What are you playing?
Bloodborne.
Oh yeah.
It's so
I've been
hard.
I've been playing Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yes, I was just talking about that on the last episode. I just beat that.
I'm at Sephiroth,
Yes. Okay. Nice.
so I'm almost there.
I'm at
Did you play-
Asheroth.
Did you play the original?
Yeah, I played the original. I'm fucking 35. I
Okay.
bought the original the day it came out.
Yeah, because I played the original a lot when I was like 12.
I played the original constantly.
Yeah. So do you like the remake better?
Oh, damn,
I
he did
don't.
leave.
I don't at all because I don't like the chatting between characters. I don't
Yep.
like how they're constantly saying shit during battle. And I also don't like the fucking runaround missions for like go find
Yep.
17 kids and that. All that shit sucks. But like all of the actual memories from the game rule.
Yeah, that was what was I think the most enjoyable part about it was just remembering the original, being like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I remember this
Yeah.
area from the original.
Like the first
mean-
Star Wars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
the opening scene where it's like the same music and the train and all that.
Yes.
That's amazing. And then when you're in the Shinra building, it's all the same shit.
The
from
Shinra building was sick. I did
Oh, that was
enjoy that.
fucking great.
Did you take the stairs or the elevator?
I took the stairs
Yeah,
because
me
I
too.
remember there was stuff on the stairs on the PlayStation game, so I thought there might be stuff on the stairs on this one.
I think
No,
we
it's just
we,
we lost Jay.
we lost Jay.
Jay's done for.
That's-
We're gaming now.
We're
Robbie.
game. What did you think about? Because they did kind of like remember the the J.J. Abrams Star Trek where it's like the alternate timeline. They kind of did that with this one, right? Where it's like apparently they're changing.
the-
Dalton, I'm so glad you kept the
Whispers.
podcast going.
Dude, I'm so I've had no one has been able to talk. No one else has played this game. I'm so excited to talk about it
The
because
Whispers.
I
That's
don't
what we're
know
talking
what
about.
you're talking about.
yes. What
Stop
did you think of the
recording.
Whispers?
Stop recording, Robbie.
All right. Okay.
No, dude,
Thank
leave
you
it in.
guys.
Leave it in. Leave it in.
Thank you guys. This has been the Loud Boys. See you guys next week.
Delete me saying the F word.